Okay, so what's up, guys? It's Extremes here, and yeah, I've had a decent amount of people ask me how do I record my videos, how do I stream, all things like that. So I'm actually bringing this like down, so it's like looking more at you guys. But I've had a lot of questions asked, how do I like stream or record? So I'm gonna show you guys. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. This video is literally gonna be like non-edited, just because I don't feel like editing it and stuff like that. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. I don't feel like it needs to be all edited and stuff like that. Nor do I really like editing that much anymore. But I will still show you guys because you've been asking, and in the past I like hung out with you guys, and I would end up like playing with you guys and stuff like that, like when you asked. But and I would like help like give music and stuff, but I never really, you guys would ask how I do something and I never really got around to showing you, so I just figured I'd show you guys real quick. Yeah, so I'm gonna go over to my one thing here, and it's gonna switch to my actual like screen on my computer, and I gotta find it. Okay. So here it is. So basically how I record, sorry for the mirrored like effect. It has to be mirrored effect. That's like that's how I'm gonna show you guys. Like, I mean, yeah, if I was like put an image like on here, it wouldn't record anymore on my screen, so it has to be mirrored. Anyways, so as you see, like here I have all my audio things and stuff like that, but what you guys would have, you wouldn't have any of these scenes. You would have to click this. And now keep in mind, this depends fully on like what your PC specs are and everything like that. So it's going to vary and be a lot different. So you're going to have to like play around, but I'll show you like a basic of what I use. I have a GTX 1070 with like 8 gigs of VRAM, and I have like an i7 something processor, and I have like 32 gigs of RAM. So I have a decent PC. It's not the best. I mean, there's way better ones out there. I want to build a better one in the future. But right now it's just like what I have, and some games like I gotta kind of like tweak around the settings, but not really, not by much. But you're gonna have like when you open the software for the first time, you're gonna have where it basically goes and it just says nothing. Nothing will be here like on any of this. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go and you're gonna not right click, you're gonna left click, and then you're gonna go and make your scene whatever it's called. And then once you do, you're going to press OK. I'm going to press cancel because I already have a scene. And then once you have a scene, then you would have nothing here. And your sources and your scenes is like what makes everything change. And then you can watch like other videos on how to like add like video files into OBS that will like make little transitions, or as they call them, stingers. But they're basically like a custom cut in a way of basically saying it. Like if you see, I have my custom cut. That's like the little green thing that you see with like the purple and the blue. And it's like a TV effect, but it's like all paint splatter. That's basically a custom stinger, or aka my custom cut. And you won't have any of that. You'll have to like find like how to do that and tweak around with things. But what you basically will do from there, you'll just go in your sources, and then you'll left click, and then you'll add whatever things you want to add. Like if you want to add a camera or a web camera, or like an Elgato capture software, that would be a video capture device. And then you would name it like webcam or Elgato, or maybe you don't have an Elgato, maybe you have like an Aviar Media, or like a Roxio capture card. Just any capture card or like webcam or camera would be video capture device. And then for like game capture or like desktop display, like your desktop display would be display capture. And then your like if you want to window capture a game and not have your desktop capture like on there, that way if you like want to like, if you only have one screen and you don't want your viewers to see like what you're doing on that one screen, you can add a game capture. And what a game capture is literally just a basically it's a window capture. I don't know why they have it called game capture. It's literally window capture because you can get a specific window, and then I'll show you guys how I do that. Like say I want to get like Rogue Company over here. I would go and I would find the window. I would make sure my mode's in capture specific window, and then I would go to Rogue Company. And then right here, I would click on it. And then now you guys can't see my desktop anymore. But we don't want that. So we're gonna go and click that off right now so you guys can see my desktop. If you see like what I mean, like once you get something there, it'll get rid of it, but I still see like my software, my OBS. Now let's get into the good stuff, like the part that's really fun and kind of complicated at start, but it's not that bad at all once you get into it. Here you would have where you add your stream key. You would connect your Twitch or your YouTube. You have little drop down boxes, and then you would go find your stream key. It's really easy to find your stream key. You can watch any videos to find your stream key. Twitch and YouTube are a little bit different, but they're pretty much similar. And then you have your output. Your output, at least what I have on my output right now, I was streaming on Twitch just to play around, and I had a downscale of 720 opposed to 1080 just because I want to see what it looked like and just dabble around with things. But what I used to stream at on YouTube, I would stream on 1080p. So I would stream 1920 by 1080p, and then I streamed at 15,000 bitrate. And it was CBR, which CBR stands for constant bitrate. And my preset was quality. My profile was high. I had these clicked off, and then my GPU is 0, max keyframes is 2, and keyframe intervals is 2. That's for streaming. Now you may have to like play around with this, and you may not be able to have as good as quality as me, or you may be able to have better. You never know. You just got to kind of play around with it. But I would say for Twitch, I'd do like 3000, then I downscale it to 720, just because like I want people to be able to change the quality of the Twitch stream. And if you stream at 1080p, I don't think they can change the quality. The Twitch may have changed that. I don't know. I know you had to be like an affiliate before you had that like change quality button. But you have to take into consideration of what other people are running, not just what you can run also. And that's what I always did, because I didn't want someone coming into my stream and being like, oh, this is buffering and I can't watch this because my internet's not good enough, because they may have to downscale your stream just to watch it. So you may want like max quality stream stuff, but your viewers may not even be able to watch it. And then in here we have recording, and in recording I have it on advanced output. By the way, I forgot to mention that advanced output you can do a little bit different, or you could have simple. It doesn't really matter, but all that really matters in the beginning when you're first starting out, and then you can kind of like learn how to do extra things. Like I have where I have separate audio tracks when I bring it into an editing software. Like I have my voice, my friend's voice, and game voice all separate. But then when I go on PC, my desktop is the same game voice. There are ways to get separate voices and everything like that, and separate audio and everything like that. But when you first start out, when I first started out, I basically just did simple, but you just play around with it. All that really matters, in my opinion at least, is the bitrate and the quality being at least decent where you can hear it and see it. So I have, on my things here, I have my control bitrate, my constant bitrate is 15,000 for recording. It's always 15,000 for recording, but you may have to downscale or you could upscale. You don't really have to upscale because you don't really need more than 15,000 bitrate. 15,000 bitrate is like a good bitrate. I mean, you're not going to get any more picture clear quality with any more bitrate. I mean, like you may, but it's like very unnoticeable. It's like very minute, if that makes sense. Anyways, I have 15,000 bitrate. I have 2 keyframe interval. I have preset quality high. Preset quality and then profile high. And then I have these clicked off, and then GPU 0, max keyframes 2. My recording has always been 15,000, but it all depends on what your computer can run, and just play around with it. Like anywhere, I'll give you guys a good area of where to play around with though. Anywhere in between 3,500, 5,000 to 15,000 and down is around an area to really play with. If you can only do 3,500 bitrate, that's fine. I mean, it's not going to look the best, but it's still able to be watched and people can still see it. I've had many times where I've messed up my bit rates and I only recorded at like 5,000 or 3,500. But yeah. And I do also want to mention, I run my encoder on my graphics card. That's why it says NVIDIA NVENC H.264. H.264 is an MP4 codec. Basically, let's just say this: MP4 is video. So I just like running my graphics card. Some people have separate PCs and they like just have a streaming PC and recording PC, and they have a game PC, and they have two different PCs. I only have one PC right now. I do want to get two PCs in the future, but right now it's just one. But yeah, also it's the same. My encoder is the same. So just, you know, copy these settings down, do whatever. Now you have your audio. Your audio is basically like, it just dabble around with it, like whatever you like. Also, you have to take into consideration of like, if you go on like, if you type in like, what is Twitch's like streaming encoding settings, you'll get a whole bunch of stuff that pops up and says the right bit rates to use. And then also like, so, you know, just play around with whatever you like. I have 128 on all mine and it sounds fine. Some people are audiophiles though, and they really like that max quality. I just don't use it. Anyways, on audio, like we have also, I want to mention, if you are recording on PC, you want to have your same sample rate as your same rate as in like your audio settings, because if you don't, then desync can happen. And then also a thing to mention is in here, in properties, I think it is, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to remember where it is. Give me 1 second. There's a thing in here that I'm trying to remember how to go to. Oh yeah, it's over in properties of audio. In the audio properties, like you want to check this off, because I've had, if I didn't have this checked off, now people may argue with me on this, but I had desync happen, like major desync. Like I'd be playing a game, I'd shoot the gun, and then the gun wouldn't shoot for like another like 5 to 10 seconds, and just the audio didn't link up with the gameplay. So that's another thing to take into consideration. Turn this off, because when I had it on, it really it wasn't so fun. So make sure you turn that off with everything. Also, the thing that I was talking about, the audio. So if you look here in my audio, not a lot of people will touch bases on this. They'll just say like, here's the bitrate, and then here's that, and you're done. And then people are having audio desync problems, and they're trying to figure out why. Well, it's probably because you have different sample rates. That's another thing. Like, but if you look, it says 44.1 gigahertz, right? Kilohertz, I think. But if I go over here, and then I go to, if I remember how to go to it, give me a minute. Okay, sound settings. Windows 10 changed all their shit. If you go into your sound control panel, and then you go to your playback, and then you double click it and go to advanced, you can change your hertz, like with your what you're hearing. And I had better luck when I changed it to 16 bit 44 like 100, or you know. So yeah, like I just wanted to mention that. Like it's kind of weird, because I guess maybe like it's a little bit off, so like desyncs it, I don't know. But like when I linked these up, I had no audio desync whatsoever. I had audio desync in the past, and nobody covers that. Like nobody covers it on how to like fix it. Like, I mean, there may be some videos out there now, but like when I was trying to like figure out what's going on with it, it was just kind of like a trial and error and it was really frustrating. But if you look, like I have 16-bit 44 100 hertz CD quality. I know that like, you know, I have all these extra, but I don't really see that I have to have it. I don't really see a difference. And if I don't have audio desync, that's great. My microphone, I don't know what I have on it actually. Yeah, see, I have the same. So make sure that you have that the same as that. And the same as the 44.100 is literally the 44 100 hertz of this. So just, you know, just take that into consideration too if you're having audio desync problems. But that's really all I can really say on that. The video part really doesn't matter. That's just trial and error, whatever you feel is necessary. You have your base canvas, which is the 1080p, and then you have your output canvas, what could be whatever you want it to be, or you could keep them the same in here, and then you could go and just change them over here. You just click this and then change your rescale output. If you look, like one is 1080p and then the other one's 720. The reason I have 720 is because I don't know, I was playing around with it, dabbling around with it. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory and simple. I just wanted to like cover like everything, supposed to people just like making a whole bunch of videos to get extra views. I just figured, hey, you know, here's like the best settings for OBS Studio, because like I actually showed you how to fix audio desync. Not a lot of people do. Now, keep in mind, like when you bring your clips into some editing softwares, they may not just support the constant bitrate or variable bitrate. So I know I used to record with Shadowplay, which is my internal graphics card, like game recorder. Like it has a capture card in my video card, but it would audio desync in Premiere Pro. It didn't support variable bitrate, and that's what my encoder, my internal like game capture like recorded as, because your NVIDIA cards do come with a software called Shadowplay, which will record and stream for you, but I just prefer OBS Studio. But if you look, I have 30 frames, 30 FPS, and then I have bicubic sharpened scaling 16 samples, and you can play around with this. And I can't play around with it right now or touch it because the fact that I'm recording. You can't touch this if you're streaming or recording, but you can like right after you're done streaming and recording. Just, you know, play around with everything. At the end of the day, it all comes down to what you're happy with and what your viewers are happy with. If you find that balance point, your viewers and you will be happy with your settings. So yeah, these are like, I would say these are like the best settings, because like I went over like everything to do with it. Like I know there's probably way more settings out there, advanced and stuff, but I consider these the best settings for like anybody who doesn't really know what they're doing, or anybody who does know what they're doing. Like, you know, everybody like overthinks all these things with like how you're going and recording, and is my stuff looking good enough? If you can see it and you can understand what's going on, and you can hear it and understand what's going on, your quality's good enough. You don't need like this max 4K quality shit like the movies have, because you have to take into consideration movie companies and producers have millions and billions of dollars to spend on heavy like equipment, like with PCs, and like heavy equipment with like cameras, and heavy equipment with like everything. So when you see like all these other streamers and you see like these movie producers like having all this max quality, and you think, oh, it's 2020, or maybe you're watching this in the way future, like maybe it's 2023 now and I still left my channel up, or maybe it's even further in. Like if you're watching this, like don't think like, oh, because everybody else has this quality, I have to have it. Everybody has to start somewhere, and you guys have to remember that. Anyways, guys, hopefully you guys have an extreme day or night, whatever time it is where you are. My name's Extremes. Also, as always, remember, fuck negativity and hostility. It's all about that love and positivity. But I'm going to go. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed my settings and everything like that. Peace out.